I'm going to read it, The Adventure of Huck and Jim. This is a new version on YouTube. A little bit good. There you go. Chapter 15. Who does that when I moved patches to Cairo at the bottom of the Illinois, where the wild comes. I was what we was after. We sailed the raft and get on a steamboat and go way out to wires amongst the free states. And then the out of trouble. Well, the second night of the fog began to come on, and we made it for a towhead to try to try to run in a fog. But when I started ahead in the column with a line, make fast, there wasn't anything about the little sapling to tie to. I passed the line on one of them right on the edge of the cutbank, but there was a steep current, and the raft came booming down so lively, and she poured out by the roots and away since she went. I see the fog closing down, and it made me so sick and scared I couldn't say words. It's the foremost half a minute, it seemed to me. And then there was no light inside, as you couldn't see for an hour, and I just jumped into the canoe and leaned back to the stern, and then grabbed at the paddle and then set her back a stroke. But she didn't come, and I was in such a hurry that I hadn't untied her. I got up to try to untie her, but I was so excited as my hands shook, so I couldn't totally do anything with them. As soon as I got started, I took out the left hard and heavy right down the towhead. That was all right as far as it went, but the towhead was 60 yards long, and the minute I flew by the foot of it, I shot out into the solid white foam, and had no more ideas which way I was going that way. Think right, it was do not paddle, first signers out run to the bank, or a towhead and something I got to stand, the spirits and the boat, and yet it's mighty fidgety business to have to hold your hands to at such a time. I looked and listened always down. There somewheres I hears a small group, and out comes my spirits. I went cheering after it, listening sharp to hear it again. The next time it come I see, so I want headings for it. But headings always to the right of it, and the next time I was heading away to the left of it, and not gaining only too much either. For I was flying around in this way that then the other body was going straight ahead all the time. I wished the fool would think to be the tin pan and beat it all the time, but he never did, and it was the steel space between the hoop and then was making the trouble for me. But I thought wrong, and that guy hears the hoop behind me. Oh, thank good now. There was somebody else's hoop. But as I was turned around, I threw the feather down. I heard the hoop again. It was behind me yet, but in a different place. It kept coming and kept changing its place, and I kept answering it. By and by, it was in front of me again. And I know the current had swung the canoe's head downstream. I was alright. If that was Jim and some of the others left man's home, I couldn't tell a lot of things about the voice in a fog. Nothing I don't look never found a network in a fog. The whooping went on, or in about a minute, I come booming down on a bank with a smoky and a coast of the big trees on it. And the guards threw me off to the left and shot by and amongst a lot of snakes, but that fairly lower the country was cheering to buy them so swift. In another second or two it was solid as white and still again. It's just perfectly still then, listening to my heart thump. I reckon I didn't draw a breath while it thumped 100. I just give up then. And I know that what the matter was, and the cut bank was in island, and Jim had gone down on the other side of it. I don't want snow forehead, and you could float by 10 minutes. It has a big timber of a regular island. It might be 5 or 6 miles long and more than half of a mile wide. I kept quiet with my ears and cocked. About 15 minutes, I reckon I was floating along so close for 5 miles an hour. But you don't even think of that. No, you feel like you are laying on that street on the water, and if a little glimpse of a snake slips by you, don't think so. Don't think to yourself and how fast you are going. But you catch your breath and think, my, how that snake is churning along if you think ain't this more than lonesome out and flow. By yourself in the night. You try it once, you'll see. Next for about half an hour, I hook now and then and lost. I hear the answers a long ways off. Try to follow it, but I couldn't do it. Directly I did, I got into a nest of the tower's head, but I had a little glimpses of them on both sides of me. Sometimes just a narrow channel between some that I couldn't see that I know it was. There is because I hear the whisper of the current against the wall. That bush that first hung over the bank. But I wasn't alone and losing the hooks down amongst the tower head, and I only tried to chase them for a little while. Anyways, because it was worse than chasing the jack-o'-lantern. You never know the sound dodges around so, and then top place so quick and so much. I had to close the waist from the bank, and pretty lively the 4 or 5 times to keep from knocking the island out of the river, and so I judged the left must be floating and into the bank. Every now and then, so as to get further, I then clear out of hearing the floating a little faster than what I was. Well, I seemed to be in the open river again by and by, but I couldn't hear no sign of the hoops, and as I Huck and Jim and fetched up a snake, maybe it was all up to the I was about and then tried to, so I let down in the canoe and said I wouldn't bother no more. I didn't want to go to see the sleep of those curtains, but I was so sleepy. I couldn't help it, so I thought I would take a job and one little catnip. And my life was more than a catnip before when I waked up the stars and was shining bright, the boat was long gone. And I was peeping down at the big bend and sun first burst. I didn't know where I was. I thought I was dreaming, and when things began to come back to me, they seemed to come up theme out of last week. It was an source of big river here. The tallest and thickest kind of timber of both bank, and just as over the water, as I could see by the stars. I looked away downstream and seen the black speck and on the water. I took after it, but when I got to stand, want to listen about a couple of swallows that made it past his feathers. Then I see another speck, then chased them, then another, and this time so I was right was that. When I got it, Jim was sitting there with his head down between his sleeve, with his right arms hanging over the steering oar. The other was smashed off, and the left was a little curled of the leaves and the branches and dirt, and so she had a lot of time. I made fast to lay down under Jim's nose on the lap. I began to gab and stretch my fist out against the Jim and says, "Hey, have I been asleep? Why didn't you stir me up?" Goodness gracious, is that you, Huck? You did that. You were just drowned. Your back end is too good for true, honey. Too good for a true lamb to look at you, and the true lamb to do on and back then, life was so much German and Huck and the hands of Huck, thanks to goodness. What's the matter with you, James? Have you been drinking? Really? How does the band drink? As I had a chance to be drinking. Well, then it's what makes you talk so wild. Oh, does I talk wild? Oh, why? And you've been talking about my coming back and all that stuff as if I couldn't go away. Oh, puppy, who mean die? And then, who mean die? The hand you to get away? Come away? Why? What in the nation? Do you mean that I hadn't been gone anywhere? Where would I go to? Well, he here, well, and there was something wrong. And I asked, it's me. But who is that? And I hear a boy. He said, no, that's the one I want to know. Well, I think you hear the plane, you know. But I think you are a tangle-headed old fool, Jim. Hey, I see. Hi. Well, you answered me, did Jim, total out of the line in the canoe to explore a fake test card. No, I didn't. So, what towhead is the head and seen with towhead? You had it, then no towhead is looking. Everything's black. Blues and there's the guardians down the libras and libras the others kind of bring the fall. What fool? Hey folks and then around light and then folks and then I hope Henry stops and mixed up in the island and something and the boat light towards the one was just got at the lost case and he never the boot he Dina those stuff again and a lot of them island and even a trouble. Talon was just around us now and of course and it's all you answer me that. But this is too many for me and Jim. I haven't seen the fall, Northern Islands, no troubles, no nothing. I've been sitting here talking with your voice. You went to sleep about 10 minutes ago. And I reconciled on the same thing. You couldn't go drunk in the time. Of course you've been dreaming, not purchasing. How is I been to dreams on that in 10 minutes? Well, you know, you did dream it because they didn't any of it happen. It's all just the flying to mirrors. It don't make no difference to have flying eats, and there were nothing yet. Because I've been here all the time. Jim didn't say nothing for about 5 minutes, but said they were starting over it then. He says, well, and I can try to meet her. But don't make it sound insane. It's a ball, foolish dream that I ever see. And I had no dreams then, but this time in my life, this one. Well, it's alright because the dream does entire the body like everything and sometimes but this one was a straying dreams tell me all about it, Jim. The Jim went to work and told me the whole thing like the truth and just as it happened, only he came up to construct of Danny that he must start in and interpret it. The video was sent for warning it he said the first entire started for a man. And that I would try to do some good, and that the current was another man that would get us away from and the hopes was winning, and that was the country to us every now and then. If we can try hard to make our children send them, they just take us into better life instead of the keeping us out of it. And a lot of touches what Robert was going to get into with the chorus and people, all kinds of men and mean and folks, but if we minded our business and didn't talk back an hour rate and that we would distribute food and get out of the fog and into the clearly which was the free state and wouldn't have no more trouble. And having cool crowded up and pretty dark just after I got onto the left and body was clearing up again now. Well, hello, it pleased well enough as far as it goes, and Jim says about what does these things stand for. Well, leaves the lavish on the left and smashed all. You could see them first late now. Jim look at Freshy, then look at me, and back at the Fresh again. He had got the dream big so strong in his head that he couldn't seem to shake it loose, and then get the facts back into his place again right away. But when he did get the thing straightened, I only looked at me, staring without ever smiling, and says, "What today stand for?" I'm going to stare you, and when I got all wore out with this work and then the calling for you, went to sleep. My heart so simple to broke the vacancy you so didn't. So I know much to what become a male. And I woke up stand fine and you back again, guitars and me, and I could just go down to my knees and kiss the foot. I so thankful. And all you was thinking about was how you could make it a fool. Seems were alive, and they were trucks down, pressure, and pressure is what we put that was there on the dead is the word dipping friends and makes so much change. And I got up slowly, walking there we go, and one there's and we're out and saying dancing about the
that was enough. It made him feel so mean. I could almost use this food to get him to take it back. It was 15 minutes before I could walk myself up to school and humble and myself a nigger. But I own it. I won every service before it afterwards neither. I didn't do him no more mean tricks, and I don't if I know it to make him feel that way. Don't?